Hi guys, in this video I am going to cover on short run cost of production along with some of the important cost concepts which we have in economics. So coming to the cost concepts, the first is the implicit cost. Implicit cost is the value of such goods and services which are supplied by the entrepreneur himself. That is, he owns them, so he need not pay to somebody else for getting those goods and services. Like when he has started the company, he himself will be the manager, so he need not pay salary to anybody else. Maybe he has got some extra space that he himself will use it for his startup, so he need not pay the rent also. Now this costs do not get added up in the accounting cost, but in economic cost we add it up. They are implicit cost. And then the second or the opposite of it is the explicit cost. Explicit cost are the value of those resources which he has purchased from the market. Like he may buy raw materials, he may employ labor, he will use electricity. All these are explicit costs. Economic costs are the total of implicit and explicit costs. And one more is the opportunity cost. It is the value of goods and services in the next best possible option. Like if he would not have used the premises available with him for his own startup, he would have given that premises for rent. Then he would be getting rent on it. So rent is the next best possible use. And the amount of rent that he would have got from it is the opportunity cost for that particular premises. And the last one is the sunk cost, the cost that a firm cannot recover. The expenditure is already incurred, that is of no use, and it cannot be recovered. That is sunk cost. Since it cannot be recovered, it cannot be added to the cost of production also. The firm, if it adds to the cost of production, then the price will rise so much that the price will not be competitive. So it should be ignored for decision making purposes. Then we have fixed cost on the basis of time, short run and the long run. In short run, some factors are fixed and some are variable. So we have some fixed cost and variable cost. The rent for the factory building is the fixed cost. Interest payment on loans is the fixed cost, or managerial salary is also the fixed cost, while raw material cost, electricity cost, labor charges are all variable cost. In long run, all the inputs are variable and therefore all the costs are also variable. Now coming to the short run production cost, we have the total cost. It consists of total fixed cost and total variable cost. What is total fixed cost and cost? I have already explained. Now coming to total fixed cost, as I said, total fixed cost remains fixed at all levels of output. Whether you produce 100 units, 200 units or 600 units or 0 units, you have to pay rent, you have to pay interest, and it remains fixed. Variable cost, it changes with the level of output. So if you are producing 0 unit, the variable cost is also 0, but it goes on increasing as we increase the output. So if 100 units are produced, it is 4,000 rupees. You find that variable cost increases slowly first and then it increases very rapidly. Total cost, is the summation of total fixed cost and the total variable cost. So 6,000 plus 4,000, you get 10,000, and so on. Diagram. Total fixed cost is the straight line parallel to x-axis since it remains fixed. Total variable cost starts from 0, rises slowly first, then rises rapidly. Total cost starts from 6,000, rises slowly first and rapidly. Average costs, all the average cost, fixed cost, variable cost, total cost, you get it by dividing it with the total quantity. Average cost you also get by adding the average fixed cost and the average variable cost. Then coming to marginal cost. What is marginal cost? It measures the rate of change in total cost as the output changes. So it is delta TC upon delta Q or delta T upon delta Q. Now numerically first. So we have the fixed cost 6,000 divided by 100, 60, 6,000 divided by 200, 30, and so on. So for others I have not mentioned, you have to go back in the table of average fixed cost and total fixed cost and total variable cost. So in the table 1 the numbers are there. Then coming to average variable cost, 4,000 divided by 100, 6,000 divided by 200, and so on. Average total cost, it is total cost divided by total quantity. So when 100 units are produced, total cost is 10,000. Go back to the previous slide. Divide it with 100, you get this, and again continue doing the same procedure. Now coming to marginal cost, it is change in total cost upon change in quantity. So earlier the total cost was 6,000 when 0 units of output is produced. Now when 100 units is produced, it is 10,000. So how much is the change? 10,000 minus 6,000. So it is 4,000. 4,000 divided by 100 is 40. Now when 200 units are produced, it is 12,000. So change is 2,000. 12,000 minus 10,000. So it is 2,000. 2,000 divided by 100 is equal to 20. So you continue like that, you get marginal cost. Now you find that average fixed cost is continuously declining. So curve is falling. It will keep approaching x-axis, but it will never touch x-axis. Average variable cost first declines and then starts rising. Average total cost also first declines and then rises. Marginal cost also follows the same, but marginal cost lies below the average cost initially and then it rises above it. So it will cut the all average costs at their minimum point, of course, except AFC will go above them. So we have the AFC curve continuously falling, coming closer to x-axis, but it does not touch x-axis. ABC and ATC are U-shaped, and marginal cost curve is also U-shaped, but it lies below all average costs first and then it cuts them and goes above it. So this is about costs, guys. If you have any doubts, you can write down in the chat.